Let me introduce Mikhail.
Yeah, that's
He's actually a professional event manager. He also had the event. Maybe you can share the particular dates of your event. It's coming.
Yeah, you probably have seen these blue pieces of sheet in your program.
Blue piece of sheet. Okay.
Yes. Named Mobile Fest. Yeah, so yeah, now I have a chance to announce it. Yeah. Next week it's gonna be the very cool mobile development festival near Moscow in Yakroma, like ski resort, and I invite all of you to join us, and we're gonna have fun, and I think not only fun but business purposes also. Yeah, my name is Mikhail Denisov. I'm the moderator of section called Game Dev. Yeah, it's pretty strange for me because I'm not game developer, and actually I'm not a geek gamer, but yeah, I made a bunch of events where a lot of game developers participated, and I know a little, okay, maybe not very little about game dev in Russia and Ukraine. That's why probably guys just invited me to be moderator of this section. Yeah, I would like to call the experts for this section. Yeah, let me check, who are they? Okay, Igor Pusenjak, I'm here. Lima Sky. Igor? Not yet? Okay, he's coming. Alex Patsay, Mail.ru Group. Okay. Andrei Tertinsky, Social Quantum. Igor. Андрей? Is Андрей? Андрей Терцицкий, ты здесь? No? Are you here? Okay. Ivan Belyj, Ivan White, where are you? Not? Okay, just call him, please. Chernomordikov, Microsoft. Michael Chernomordikov. 5 minutes, okay. Yeah, because we started a little earlier than we should. Yeah, that's it. We still have 7 minutes to start the official start of our section. So let it be just introduction. That's all. Yeah. I would. Katya Zholobova, are you here? No? Yeah. Come here. Chernomordikov, Microsoft. Katya, ты здесь? Yes. Yeah, please join us. Yeah, not announced experts, Katya Zholobova from Nevosoft. They made a couple of brilliant games and have very, yeah, just come here, just take a seat. Brilliant experience. That's all? Okay, so, yeah, we don't have Igor yet. Okay. Yeah, Igor is here, and we don't have Andrei. Sorry, yeah, we don't have. Yeah, Andrei is Social Quantum, so they are. And yeah, at Game Dev Market they represent as investor and publisher. So we don't have investor or publisher in our experts, but we have game developer. We have cross-platform framework called Marmalade for game development. Yeah, we have Igor. Yeah, the offer of I don't know, just one of the most popular games of 2009. Yeah, in App Store 2008.
Well, 10, 11, and 12.
Okay, Doodle Jumper. Who has Doodle Jumper on his iPhone? Okay.
Everyone else download it now.
Yeah, Alex Patsay, Mail.ru Group, yeah, and bank app developer. Yeah, okay, finance app developer. Yeah, who has Alpha Click on his iPhone? Yeah, Alex made it. Yeah, and Mik Chernomordikov. So what is Mik? Is it your official name, Mik, or just a nick on social media?
Short version of
Just short version of Michael. Okay, just Michael Chernomordikov, Microsoft. So yeah, I prepared just one question to each expert of our section. Just шпаргалка here. Yeah. As Dmitry Tarasov said before this section, before his own section, that I just noted it. Making games is the worst thing that can be at the market now, but it is the only thing worth to do now. So yeah, maybe we're wasting times of our users, allowing them to play our games, but still the hugest amount of money is just making by producing games. Okay, the first question to everyone. What is more profitable, to publish by yourself or to publish by publisher? What do you think? What do you think, Kaya?
Well, as a publisher, I can say that go to the publisher, of course.
Yeah, before becoming publisher, you were just a game developer.
Yeah, sure. But we had an experience, and we had a huge portfolio of games. So we had our own audience that we could quickly just move to another market. And in this market, we found a new audience for us. So actually, we're not just developers, we're publishers.
Yeah, any suggestions?
Obviously, currently, game is not only a code and a gameplay, it's also a part of market business. So I would say that it is great for an indie developer to publish his games by someone else. If the developer has no name, some status on the App Store or Android market, some kind of a portfolio, he can try to do it by himself. But first game, not to fail, but to win, should be by a publisher.
So, your vote for publisher. Okay.
No publishers. Publish yourselves. Publish yourselves. Publish yourselves. If you publish with a publisher, two things can happen. One, your game will become very successful. Like, well, you got your friends here from Zeptalab, Cut the Rope, or the Angry Birds, right? And they're not publishing with their publisher anymore. Why is that? Because they're happy with their publisher? Or your game will not be successful, and then your publisher will go on to the next game and forget about your game. So don't go with a publisher, especially on the iOS. Android is a different story where actually publishers can bring some value by talking to all the different carriers and all the different app stores and all the different things that are going on there. And you know, for that you really need more than one person. You really need a lot of knowledge. But on the iOS store, if you have a good game, publisher will not any value beyond just advertising it through their network of the game, which is great for the very short time, but you can do as much yourself as well. So I would say don't go with the publisher.
Well, on the other hand, I would add, no, I mean, obviously Igor is right. For individual developer, it's this dream market of having like millions of users that will be downloading your game and paying directly to you, except of like share for Apple or Google. But you have to realize that there are millions of other developers like you who are trying to get to the same audience, and you will have to compete with them. And there are pretty good chances that their games will be better than yours. But probably in that case, you don't need to go to the market at all. But so it's just a matter of balance for answering honestly to yourself whether you want to try and go to the market and probably spend, I don't know, a year or two trying to get noticed, or maybe you will just go through the publisher and there is a higher chance of you being noticed as a game developer. So you have to just decide for yourself, and there is no single answer to that, whether you need to use publisher or not.
I think it depends on your experience, it depends on your game, and with Microsoft we have all three ways for you. You can publish yourself, you can go to any publisher that you can find, or you can come to us and we can publish your game. And publishers, of course, help you to increase the scale, so they have the audience, they have the marketing budget, they have everything that can help your game be successful, but you will give something for them, right? So it's your personal choice. Honestly, I think, first of all, you should try to do it yourself. After that, you will realize you can do this, or you cannot do it yourself. And in second option, you can go to publishers, they will help you. But from user perspective, from platform perspective, I think it doesn't matter who publishes game. If game is good, users will buy it and play it, and you will enjoy the success.
Do you know, by the way, how many apps downloaded in App Store, for example, now?
Yeah.
5 billion?
25 billion.
25 billion, yeah. Just try to promote yourself there.
You can do it. You can do it. There are websites, there are blogs, Apple notices good apps. It doesn't matter who publishes them. If you have a good app, Apple will notice it. You don't need a publisher for iOS, for sure. Microsoft, yeah, you need a publisher because Microsoft won't let you be on their Xbox unless you have a publisher. You can't self-publish. Thank you for that.
On phone, you can do that.
On the phone, yeah, but no one has Windows Phone, I'm sorry.
In this city, no.
Anywhere in the world, I love the platform, it's great, but people are giving up on it. Xbox, we're trying to, we have a version of our game on Xbox and we can't publish it ourselves. So we're looking for a publisher to give them 30% just to put their name on our game. Doesn't make sense.
Yeah, because it's console. And
Yeah, well, so?
it's a different market. It's absolutely different. We have.
Well, it's monopoly, that's the word for it, basically, but.
Okay, okay, guys, let's stop talking about publishing because
I just want to mention one thing. I think the question that we should answer here, are we interested in creating game for Russia or for global market? Because the picture in Russia is so different from other countries. Like we just talked, yes, so in US, iOS is much more popular than many other platforms, but in Russia it's not even number 3. So it's very different landscape in Russia, in China, or in US. And if you go to publish a game for US, you will go here. If you go to publish to Russian consumers, you will go here probably, or there. So it's really different.
I think there's an answer to that. Like in Mail.ru group, we recently launched the mobile games division, and we had to answer actually that question to ourselves. What market are we going after? And the answer is clearly that you need to go to the US first, the Europe, and Asia maybe, but Russia in terms of mobile market is not on the radar yet.
There's only one market, it's global. There's no denying it. If you're focusing on one small market, that's great, that's called niche, and a lot of people are able to make money focusing on niche products, niche markets, but look at, cut the rope. Your guys here from Moscow, they didn't go for Russian market, they went for the global market. They're successful everywhere.
Okay, excuse me.
I just agree.
Okay. Yeah, the question number 0, because I needed to start with it. So, can I give you, each of you, just 3 sentences about your company and your place at game dev market to audience to understand what are you? Yeah. Okay. Can I just start?
All right, I'm from Nevosoft. We're leading Russian casual games developers and publishers, and recently
Russian. To the Russian market.
We're situated in Russia. We do it worldwide.
Okay, so
So recently we started doing for mobile too. Now we have about 20 titles on App Store and 1 title on Android. But this year we're going to launch 15 more titles on Android and about 15 more on iOS.
I'm a team leader in Marmalade SDK development team, and we create product to create multi-platform games, mostly games, and this is top product, very professional. Our customers are Electronic Arts, PopCap, Konami, Bandai Namco, Activision. Who else? Who do you know? Who else? Plants vs Zombies, Zholobova, Cut the Rope are also based on Marmalade. So that's what we do. The best SDK for creating multi-platform games.
Who uses Marmalade to development of this product? 1, 2. Who uses Unity? Okay. Yes, Igor.
So I'm Igor Pusenjak of Lima Sky. We're the creators of Doodle Jump, self-published title on iOS, and we are also now on Android and all other platforms through a publisher. So that's me.
I think mail.ru probably doesn't need any introduction in terms of what the company is. I just want to add in terms of mobile games developer, we recently created this mobile division that will be developing and publishing mobile games. Right now we don't have many titles, but we are working on some, and though we don't think that we have to go after quantity, but we have to go after quality games. So I will not be bragging about numbers like we will have like 300 titles by the end of the year. Yeah, we late to the party, but it's probably better late than never.
We are small guys from Microsoft. I'm enjoying playing games on our platforms. Doodle Jump on Windows Phone is great. Cut the Rope on Windows 8 is the first game worldwide on our platform. Fruit Ninja on Kinect. So we have a lot of game platforms, and we are happy to help developers to be successful in that.
Okay, thank you. So the next question is: we've seen some just very strong trends. For example, like Happy Farmer style games, yeah, or Angry Birds style games. I don't know, Megapolis and blah 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 games. So what is the next trend? What do you think? What is the tendency? What game scenery you would invest in, or you? Okay, what do you think? If it is answer on this question.
Well, I think the market is so large that you probably don't need to focus on a certain genre of the game. Any game can be popular if it's a good game. And at the same time, you can see on the market that the Angry Birds, like the simple stupid game of flying birds into pigs, and at the same time you have this huge Infinity Blade title with cool 3D, nice graphics, special effects, etc. And so since the market itself is like 300 million users, you have to realize that those users have different preferences, and some of them will like simple games, some of them will like something more complex, and that's just up to you to decide what you want to bring to the market.
So make the game you'd like to play yourself. That's probably the best thing, because if you go and look at the trends, and I'm going to make a farming game, and you'll hate yourself, you'll hate the game, and it will probably not be very successful in the end, and you'll spend a lot of time on it. But speaking of trends, whatever you do, definitely have microtransactions in the game, in-app purchases, because that's where all the money is these days.
I definitely can say that simple games are the trend and will be the trend in predictable future. Starting with dual jump that has the simplest controls ever. Just tilting your device and pressing, just touching screen for shooting. And the same for Angry Birds, the same for Fruit Ninja, the same for Cut the Rope. The simpler a game is, the interesting it is. I think all these simple games are successful because of the simplicity. That is the trend. That will be the trend. Tiny wins, whatever.
I would invest in a good game, in a high quality game. And as a developer, you should understand the people you are making this game for. You should really love them to make something what the people will love too. It's always easy to see whether the developer thinks of the people who's going to play his game or not, whether he understands them or not. And I don't think it's about the gameplay. I don't think it's about the game mechanics, because every day we see different kinds of games on the market, and the trend is changing, whether these are some logical puzzles or social games or strategies. It depends on how it's made and for whom.
Yeah, Ivan, just tell us a story about this diamond game you just told me at coffee table. I'm rich.
Oh,
Just
yeah.
Beautiful example, yeah.
Yeah, it's a beautiful case. Guys from Europe, I forgot their name. They created the simplest app ever. They called it I'm Rich, and it contains only one picture of a diamond. And it costed $999 US dollars. The biggest price available for App Store. And they released this application. They got about 80 purchases, and this application was removed from App Store. But they've earned more than 50,000 US dollars for nothing, for 15 minutes of development.
Actually, when they were removed from the App Store, they submitted their app to Cydia, and there it costed about $500. So they earned a lot more from the cracked iPhones selling their app for $500.
Yeah, you see, it's not as hard to become a game developer and to earn first $50,000 on it.
Yeah, that's nice, but look at the Cut the Rope Angry Birds, look at us. It cost 99 cents and earned more than, tens of millions of dollars.
How much did you earn by Doodle Jump?
Too much. But the point is, you want to create a sustainable business, not a cheap trick like the I'm Rich app was.
I can say that tricks like this are not possible anymore. Apple and mobile markets are taking care of it because they check the apps. The other success story from the beginning of the App Store was the fart tabs. People made lots of money on fart tabs. The app that the only thing it could do is you open it, you shake your iPhone, and it farts. It costed $1. Really? I don't like jokes like this.
Kids like that.
Yeah. So, and people really made a lot. But not a long time ago, Apple published a new official paper, and they wrote, please, no more fart apps. We don't need any fart machines anymore. Please make sure your content makes sense.
I actually have a question to Igor about the trends. I just recently came from GDC, and the main trend there was that premium games that cost money to download are not that popular anymore, and the main trend would be for freemium market. What do you say about that?
Yeah, correct. That's what I was mentioning earlier. Just make sure you have in-app purchases. If you look at, there are 3 charts on iOS. One will be top paid, one will be top free, one will be top grossing. Obviously, the top grossing being the one that makes most money, the apps that make most money, they are on top. And majority of them are actually free apps that have in-app purchases. Now, Apple still kind of puts a lot of focus on the top paid chart, and that's generally what you see the most. But if you're in this to make a lot of money or make money, freemium is definitely the way to go. It's easier for people to get into playing your game. If they like it, they'll actually end up spending money. So if it's smartly designed, that it's fun to play, that it doesn't seem like you're actually constantly trying to get money from the players, they'll actually open up and they'll enjoy it and they'll eventually spend.
I think it's really depends on the market again. I will still repeat that because it's not only about us, but the economics behind Apple and Google stores are very different. And in our case, in the Windows Marketplace, the prices are higher, so developer can really sell the good game for real money, not just for microtransactions. So in our case, you can publish a game and get more money per user, and you will have more money than, for example, in Android. And we know developers that got more money from Windows Phone than for Android, because people who use Windows Phone are ready to buy games, and more users on Android don't want to spend their money. So if you can create cross-platform game, I believe economics could be different from Apple, Google, Microsoft could be different.
Get more users on the Windows platform first.
Yes, and this quarter we will
the
be.
native code, please.
This quarter will beat iPhone in Russia, so it's just the beginning from Moscow. It's official
I'll drink.
forecast.
I'll drink a liter of vodka when that happens.
We'll stay here until end of this month.
Okay,
We'll do this.
good. We'll drink together. No, seriously, I don't. But regardless of that, I don't necessarily think you're right about that. We had a big sort of quarrel with game developers when the iOS platform first started about the pricing, and everyone was so mad that the games were going down to 99 cents and how much is your game worth. But it's not about what you sell one unit for, it's about how many units you sell. So obviously what you lose in unit price, you make up in volume. And people have realized that. And honestly, yes, it's nice that you're keeping sort of that floor higher than what iOS has or Android. But in the end, once you get volume, I think you'll see a lot of people complaining, oh, on iOS I can get this game for 99 cents, and on Windows it's $2.99. Why is that? And I'm sure Microsoft will, go down the road of just giving up to the pressure and lowering the price.
Yeah, I completely agree. It's open market, so the more players will come, the less price will get. But the thing that I still not understand fully, that currently most popular games and apps on Windows Phone is cheaper than on Android. That it's not clear for me why is that.
Okay, the other question. Have you seen this cartoon called South Park? And the episode about World of Warcraft. There was a scene where the director board of World of Warcraft just gathered and discovered that no one of them has an account in World of Warcraft. Do you place your games? And is it? Do you need to be, a geek gamer to produce brilliant games, or just better stay away from it, not to have your head free of just junk and stuff? Okay, do you play your games?
Okay, I guess I can start. Yes, I do play my games, but you know what? The cartoon actually makes a lot of sense, because when you are so involved with your game and producing it, very often you're looking for something else to play and relax with. So it's only half not true. To answer your other question, you don't need to be a geek gamer or hardcore gamer to be in this business. In fact, actually, I think it helps if you're not, especially if you're going for the casual gaming market. My background is not gaming. I've never owned a gaming console in my life. I did buy a Wii though, but that doesn't count as a gaming console.
Yeah, Igor, just tell us a story. How do you start? what was the story about creating Doodle Charm?
So it started with the App Store. My brother and I teamed together when Apple announced the App Store for iOS, and we figured that with 10 million devices already in the market and Apple having everyone's credit card on file, it wouldn't be that difficult to sell something simple for 99 cents. And that was our model from the very beginning. And the first thing we've done was called bubble wrap, which that packing plastic material that everyone loves to punch. So we figured it would be something simple that we could actually do ourselves without any prior sort of Objective-C coding experience. It would be silly enough that press would write about, because hey, and there's even this stupid bubble wrap app on the iPhone. And we figured that for 99 cents, people would actually buy it if all it took was just a click and not like entering your credit card information and all that. So once that was out, we saw that, it was selling well, not tremendously well. Press didn't write about it, but still we saw the potential in the App Store, and we started working on some simple games and apps, and a couple of months later, Doodle Jump came. But I don't want to take over this entire panel telling my story, but
yeah, it's just interesting.
but basically, we did have experience in programming. We did have experience in web design, in sort of new media technology. So it's not that we were raising corn on a farm and then got into iOS gaming. But it's not. You don't necessarily have to be a hardcore gamer to be in this business.
Okay,
It helps.
Returning to my question.
Return to your questions, it depends on game. In fact, I agree with Igor that you are not supposed to be a hardcore gamer. But if we are talking about casual games, and if we are talking about hardcore games like for example, Need for Speed or Call of Duty Black Ops or any other game, you must be a hardcore gamer. Not you, but your game designer, your creators, they must be a hardcore gamer to understand, at least to understand the trend and what hardcore gamers are waiting from this game. But especially me, I am was my hands for simple games, very simple games. Even Infinity Blade, with all its outstanding graphics, is completely simple. And the main is an idea. An idea can be born only in a fresh head. Empty head.
Okay, so Katya, did you pass all the levels of Super Cow?
Yes, sure. Many times. I needed to improve my score, on the game center. So, as I said, you need to understand your audience. You need to love your audience. That's why if you're making casual games, you need to be a good casual games player. You need to love them. If you're making hardcore games, okay, be a hardcore game player. That's the only way you can make a good game that people will love. And for sure, I play all of our games.
Okay, thanks.
It's actually a very good point about hardcore gamers and casual gamers, since we plan to release the new game in April, and the team that is making the game, they are really hardcore players from RPG world, etc. And the game itself was coming out like a very complex and very hard to use game. So luckily myself, I'm not a hardcore gamer at all, but I know a thing or two about the user interface, the user experience. So we had to go all over again and simplify the game so it would be much easier to use for the regular users. So you don't have 3 screens of text, or people that play games, they have attention span of a hummingbird, 7 seconds, and then they are just gone. So you have to create the game that will be interesting from the very first second, and that's why you don't have to be, or at least don't have at least have a person on the team that is not hardcore gamer that can understand the audience.
We are not creating so much games, but we create a lot of software products. So we have so-called dog food. So we are using our own product before public availability, and we do it ourselves, and we do it with our families. So we test it. So we need to understand our customers before them, and we also need to test how it works on people who are not part of our company. So I believe in game development should be the same, because games should be very simple to everyone to understand. If you're creating casual game, if you're creating hardcore game, you also should understand this at every level. And for games for Xbox 360, we have a lot of buildings in our headquarters that people are playing these games every evening just because they want to do that.
Okay, by the way, are you allowed to use iPhones or iPads or Android phones in Microsoft?
Actually, I have corporate iPhone and corporate Android because I need to understand market, because we have different platforms on that. So sure, I use it. But I prefer this one, it's my favorite.
What is it?
Nokia Lumia 800, Windows Phone 7.
What about those stories about people in Microsoft office of the Microsoft that if you show up in the office with iPhone, that iPhone would be taken from you and you will be punished for that?
What if person in my office will use Yandex Search, Yandex Mail? That's okay. That's the same. But people will ask you, why are you working in our company making business on, for example, Windows Phone, but you're using other phone? Why that? So it's just your personal choice. Do you believe in the company that you work for or not? But you're free to do anything that you want. At home, nobody cares. You can do whatever you want.
Yeah, I just read an article, it is going back to the previous question, about Alisa Chmachenko from Game Insight, because she says that she plays hours a day games and spend like thousands of dollars in games they produce, and they just this was very original question. Okay, do you use multi-platform frameworks creating your games? Or would you recommend to do it or not?
I'm not a coder.
Do you know any coder? Do you know any coder?
I know you.
Oh, thank you. Actually, that's a very, very good question. Yes, I use multi-platform frameworks, even SDK, and I would recommend that. And if we look at any title, any successful title, they are successful on one platform, for example, iOS, and then they start thinking how to earn much more money from other platforms, and they start thinking how to use their existing code base for doing that, and they are looking for possibilities. Yes, that's the crucial thing for a successful game. We have huge diversity of devices, but they are very familiar to each other. They have the same size screen. In fact, mobile phones, they can differ for an inch. They can have different resolution, but in fact, it is close. Proportions are the same. In fact, the size is really close to each other. They have really close performance, all the smartphones. They can be done by different developers, manufacturers, but in fact they contain the same chipsets, same memory. You can see it. So why not? Why not to earn money from all the platform? And can you afford to maintain the code base for every platform? Rovio Mobile does. They really can. They have 300 people involved in creating only one casual game, maybe two.
Okay, I'll correct my question. should you start from one platform, or just you need to make for all platforms at once?
I would recommend
Yeah,
to
so
start-
for example, Royer just started from iOS, and then only after that they just
Zeptolabs also started from iOS. Who else? Electronic Arts with their games also started with.
For example, I'm beginner in game developing. Should I use just your platform
If-
for my first game, or should I start from the native?
Maybe
SDK?
it could be a bit complicated for you to start using our platform because it's for professionals. You can spend a bit more time to visualize your project. And if it is top, if you just want to visualize your idea, it's very crucial to have speed in the beginning of your development.
Okay, thank you. We got your idea. Just better to use, than not to use. Okay, Alex, what's your opinion?
No, my actually short answer is yes, we do, but I'm far more interested to hear Igor's opinion on that, since he has like popular game, he has it on multiple platforms. So let's say what he has to say about it. Let's hear.
So Ivan actually brought a couple of interesting points. He also said why not. So I'll answer why not. Why not to use it is because if you need your game so super optimized and the cross-platform software is sometimes not giving you that ability, that would be why not. Also, first game, probably not thinking about multi-platform because chances are that it will not be successful. I mean, we had like 40 games before Doodle Jump. Rovio had like 500 or something like that. So make your life easy. Do it in something that's easy to develop in and quick. And sometimes easy to develop is cross-platform, like Unity, from what I understand. But long term, I think it's something that's very useful. We're not using it. I wish we were, but my brother makes all the engineering decisions, and he's very sort of focused on optimizing everything to the very last, byte. So he would probably, if he was sitting here, he would probably say, "Don't use it, build build specifically for every single thing." But I think maintaining 5 different versions of code is not a pleasant thing. So I think there's definitely value in something like Marmalade. And in fact, I sent him an email to evaluate you guys. So I haven't gotten a response yet. We'll see what he says.
I want to mention HTML5 because currently it looks like future cross-platform thing, and it was a lot of debates, especially in game development. Is it enough productive, and is it good enough to use it in real games? So I think what we've done together with Cut the Rope, you can just go to cutzero.ie and you will play HTML5 version of the game, and it was just 2 weeks they've ported that game to Windows 8 native application, not web but native app. So now Windows 8 you can use HTML5 for native games. I think in the future other platforms will also somehow support that as a native engine maybe, so let's wait and see. But currently what we see from all browsers and all platforms, HTML5 performance is really high, and that means that if you decide to use some kind of cross-platform, don't forget about that.
I'm gonna add on that. Last year in November, I was at the conference called HTML5 Games, and the general conclusion of the conference was that HTML5 is not here yet. Like every year, for 2 years probably now, we hear this. So this year will be a year of HTML5, and no, it's not. There are a lot of issues with sound, there are a lot of issues with graphics, the performance is not there yet, and even though we have like WebKit for browsers in Safari and on Android, the issues that are on those browsers are very different, and you will have really really hard time supporting all those platforms. And even if you go for HTML5 for the game, you can feel it. Like Vinga has this Words with Friends game, and it's HTML5 packed into the native app in the store. And you can see that in the graphics and transitions and screen updates and everything, it doesn't perform as well as native application would do. So that's the problem with HTML5 right now.
I just would like to add, yes, sure, you should be cross-platform, because another market gives you another opportunity that you don't have to miss, absolutely. But please make sure that on the other platform, your game will not use its quality. You should be really careful about the graphics, about the musics, and for example, on Android, there are so many types of devices, and you should make sure your game goes well with each of them.
So you get another opportunity, but you get another huge headache. So, one thing for Android platform, I think there's, Amazon with their Kindle Fire and integrated store there is opening up sort of a very good opportunity there where you can create, not for every single Android device, but for only a few specific ones that you can control, and it gives you another opportunity without too much headache. But just, if you're planning on sort of submitting to the Google Android market, or Play they call it now, and then Kindle, the Nook, Barnes and Noble, and Amazon and all the other app stores, it's opportunity, but it's a huge headache. That's where iOS is really, and Apple is really beautiful, because whatever you do, it will work on all their devices, and it's just one store, and it's fantastic.
Yeah, because they have only two screen dimensions, yeah? You have one. Okay.
Good. That's amazing. Or users, sorry.
Okay.
I'd love an ecosystem where there's Windows and Apple and no Android, but
I would support you in that.
Okay, we need to let Katya go because she has train. Thanks, Katya.
Yes, it was great to see you. Thank you all for coming.
Thanks. I have a couple more questions in my pocket, but I want to ask the audience. Maybe you have questions to our experts. Okay.
Hello, my name is Alex. I'm from Minsk. We're a development company. I'm mobile and web technologies, and I have a question to Igor. Can you tell us the history of Doodle Jump? How did you came into this idea of these funny graphics with all these cells and just handwriting, and when the figures are not finished with? So can you tell us the history of just?
So yeah, I'll try to be as sort of short as possible because I can go on about that. But so graphics itself.
Sorry, I would also add, did you have any previous games before Doodle Jump?
Yes.
Actually, there was such a question, so yeah, they had 50.
So yeah, we had about 40 titles before Doodle Jump or something like that. But so Doodle Jump was originally going to be a sequel to one of the first games we made on iOS called Eat Bunny Eat, which has this silly little bunny catching carrots, and it was kind of children's / silly bar game that we created early on, and it was kind of funny. And we wanted to create a sequel, and thinking of, okay, what else can we do with the bunny? And we figured, well, the bunnies jump, so we'll make a jumping game. And I was working on the graphics. My brother was doing the coding, and I gave him basically some placeholder graphics that were just sketched to keep on programming the game engine while I work on the final graphics. But I ended up not liking anything that I made for the bunny, and we both ended up liking just the placeholder hand-drawn graphics. And we're thinking about, why don't we just release a game that has that type of graphic style? And part of it was because when I was in graduate school at Parsons, we did We did a project on visualizing James Joyce's Finnegan's Wake, and if you're familiar with that book, it's just totally insanely crazy and amazing. And what I did was basically just graphics, quick, simple graphics in that sort of hand-driven style, and I presented it to the class, thinking people would not be crazy about it. But it was so different from what everyone else has done that people just really, really loved it. And this kind of resonated with me as we went into this. We kind of employed that hand-drawn style a lot. Even one of the titles before Doodle Jump, we did a little tic-tac-toe game that was all sort of hand-drawn, very simple, something that you would do in your notebook. So there's a bit of history going back there.
Yeah, I have a little idea. One always needs to find any interesting game to play. For example, me. Yeah. Could you recommend me to any game you like to play, you love very much? Not say, but just type in Twitter, mark it with MLT hashtag. My favorite game is, and yeah, it would be good advice to any in audience. Thank you. Just type it. What actually your favorite games?
Ooh, my favorite games. I've been loving Pocket God, if you can call that a game. It's sort of this world. I love Temple Run and Plants vs. Zombies and Doodle Jump, of course. I guess that I can't mention that, but that's and other ones. I mean, it changes all the time, I guess.
Okay, Alex, what's your favorite game?
I actually went to my
just
phone
check.
to see what I was playing recently. I'm not sure I have any favorite games.
Okay, what's your favorite day for last week?
I played this game. It's not like a really real game, but it's a trivia game called Girls vs. Boys, where you have to answer questions, and you have two top charts, boys, one for boys and second for girls, and one combined chart that you can see who's actually smarter, boys or girls. And that was kind of funny, since you have to answer a lot of questions to get higher and higher, and people can buy other packs of questions and get even higher of you. So it's kind of like a ego masturbating game or something like that. But that's interesting.
Mick, what's your favorite game?
I'm feeling myself like too old for that. My favorite game was
Or too young, maybe.
No. UFO Element Unknown or XCOM Apocalypse. That was my favorite game for many years, but it's not available on any mobile platform right now. For modern game, I really enjoy game developed by Russian people abroad here, Doodle Jump, Cat the Rope, all of them. I really see like Russian developers as the world class and the best in the world to creating games.
Yeah.
I don't like Angry Birds. Never liked it.
Yeah, I don't have favorite game, but I have game I hate.
Yeah, I do like Fruit Ninja and Tiny Wings, two of my favorite games.
Yeah, I just remembered the other game from the guys who made Fruit Ninja was the Jetpack Joyride, and I really enjoyed it on my vacation. And I broke my rib and couldn't ski, so I just was lying there and playing the Jetpack Joyride.
Yeah, and Zombie Dash, I think. This guy running on top of the roofs.
I haven't played.
Oh, Zombie Rush, something like that. That's also really good.
Okay, yeah, one more question to Alex directly about the changing of your position. So you were CEO of your own company, and you become top manager of huge mail group. Is it a way of career you would recommend to anyone, or maybe you won't go back to your own business? So what do you think? It's just a personal question.
Yeah, I get that asked a lot. The thing is that Mail.ru had this really challenging task for me, like getting their completely new division for the company and trying to steer it towards the Western market where Mail.ru doesn't have any presence basically, and that's kind of like own startup within big company, since you have to do a lot of things you don't know how to do them, and that's probably the main reason why I went there, since it's basically, like I said, the startup. But eventually, I think I'll probably, okay, I will not be making any forecasts, but I prefer startups.
Yeah, you found your own startup in big company. Yeah, I see. Okay.
I think that's an interesting point. That you can be a startup in a big company. A lot of people don't see that, but you can have sort of a division or a smaller group within a big company that really feels like a startup. I think that's what you found.
Okay, I have a question to Igor. So how many people work in your company now?
There's 4 of us.
And you outsource projects?
4 of us.
You produce by yourself?
4 of us, yes. So it's my brother and I were the core group, and we're working with a programmer and a illustrator, and that's it. That's the outsourcing.
Where's your headquarters? Where do you live?
Wherever my laptop is, currently in Moscow. So I live in New York. My brother is between Croatia and Tokyo. My programmer is in Miami. My illustrator is in Puerto Rico and New York. So we are very virtual. We don't have offices, and that's one beautiful thing about this business is you can be anywhere. And I have family, so I'm kind of, not gonna say stuck, but I have to be in one place. But if I didn't, I would probably be just traveling and working, because that's the freedom you get with this mobile business.
How much does it take to make new game when you are 4? So a month, 2 months?
Well, it was 2 of us. You know, part of the reason why that we are 4 now is because I travel so much and speak at different conferences, so I had to get some help. And my brother kind of burned out from working from 9 in the morning till like 11 at night every single day, coding. So it takes, you know, I'll tell you how much it takes. My wife and I just had a baby, and he's 5 months old, and people tell me that I look good for having a 5-month-old baby, and I tell them that's because I sleep more now with a baby than I slept when I was coding Doodle Jump, my first, baby so-called. So it takes a lot of hard work to get it done.
Okay. Any questions in the audience? Okay.
Здрасте. Такой вопрос. Вот сколько Doodle Jump лет этой игре?
So I'll translate. How old is Doodle Jump?
So we released it on March 15, 2009, so it'll be 3 years in a couple of days.
Такой вопрос. Вот продажи без всякого пиара сейчас снизились или нет? Вот каждый день сколько копий Doodle Jump покупает из App Store?
I'll translate. So for now you stopped all the PR campaign of Doodle Jump. Your sales, they going down, or you just stopped at the same level?
So they're pretty much at the same level. What we've found is that it's really hard to spend money on advertising a 99-cent app, and the best sort of thing that works has been the word of mouth, people just talking about it and getting the game, mentioned by media, put in media, and so on.
Okay, any more questions? Should we have microphone there?
I have a question for Mike. We make a service application, and I have a question. We make app for Android, for iOS. Why should we make an app for Windows Phone?
That's a great question, thank you. So Windows Phone is growing very fast, and it's clear that it's in this country will be on top 3 very soon, like this month. In worldwide, we also going to be there very soon on top 3, and no one else will be on that place on the short term. So, I think you should develop on all 3, not only for us, not only for Apple, not only for Google. I think you should consider 3 of them. On Windows Phone, currently for developers, it's a really unique opportunity where the market is growing, but it's not so big as in other platforms. So the competition is not so big, but the prices are good and the number of users are growing very fast. So which means you can get a market share and you can get a revenue per user is really high, and after that it will grow and you will still have the same market share because you were before your future competitors in this market.
I mean, we are not making applications, we are making service. So it's important who is audience who uses these devices with Windows Phone. We know who uses Android. We know about people who buy iPhone and iPads. We don't know who buy Windows Phone devices because we know who buys Symbian, for example, and we absolutely don't know who buys Windows Phone at all. Who is the audience? Who are buying Windows Phone devices? Which people, which age, which sex, and so on and so forth. I mean, we don't know audience, who is buying, because I don't know anyone who bought Windows Phone device. A lot of people buy Android or iOS and they don't think about Windows Phone at all.
So I can tell you 3 things. First, I'm responsible for Russian market, so I know the Russian. You're in Russia?
Yes.
So you can just
Russian service.
Okay.
Who buying Windows Phone in Russia?
That's clear. So you can just go to website ms4press.ru, ms4press.ru, when we've published our research about Windows Phone consumers in Russia, and it also includes every detail that you were asked. But in general, it's just statistics. It's not the target audience because every consumer could buy iOS, Android, Symbian, Windows Phone, or any other smartphone, because smartphone is created for everyone. But what we provided you, a data that we already have right now. So it's general user who want to use smartphone which connected to internet. So it's general user who like to use internet services, and it's just different choices for different.
Just how many users in Russia now, Windows Phone?
So we're not selling these phones. Nokia, for example, use it. So they sold 1 million devices in first months.
In Russia?
No, globally. So in Russia, what IDC told us that this quarter we will have 9% of weekly sales smartphone in Russia. So you can just calculate how many of the users that is.
I too.
Why?
Because we don't know size of all numbers is enough.
So you just go to any website, just go to search engine and type number of smartphone users in Russia. So sorry. Please tell me how many words are used in Russian language. Do you know that?
It's just
it's because
speak the microphone because they're.
So I'm just asking you the things that none of us know, but we use it, right? So how many people are there in this room? Do you know exact number?
So why a comparison on comparables? I'm just asking about sales of your smartphone. You're talking about some abstract things.
No, I told you who knows the numbers. Just go to there. I told you percent.
So the answer is who knows?
Sending people to Bing. Why are you sending people to Google?
Because there is no Bing in Russia, it's clear.
Enough to know the percentage, the share. I agree with me. It is definitely enough. 9%. What else?
It's money that's going, so you can just grab it or let other people do this after you. That's the choice.
Okay, any more questions? Could you please give the microphone?
Okay. What do you think? How many people need that create a game like Doodle Jump?
Everyone.
How much need people?
How many?
How many? Sorry.
All the users of smartphone need those.
No. The question is, how many developers do you need to create Doodle Jump?
Well, so the rumor goes that Tiny Wigs was created by one person Doodle Jump was created by 2, Temple Run was created by 3, Tiny Towers, I think it's 2 or 4, Pocket God is 2 people. Generally, I think 2 or 3 is a good number.
On the GTC, I was in presentation by the guys who made Infinity Blade. So how many people do you think, how many developers they had? They had only 3 developers on the game. So basically you don't, of course they had engines made by other people, but for the game itself, the 3 was enough.
What we found from research that currently from 2 to 5 is the ideal number of developers to create a very successful game. But of course it's from the start. After that you can decide that you need more people, for example, to cover more platforms, do much more things. But from the beginning, less than 2 is not enough. 2 to 5 is ideal.
Okay, so I think we can ask 1 or maybe 2 more questions before we...
Hello, my name is Dmitry. I'm from iPhone Planet. It's a Russian site about Apple devices, news, and apps. I have a few questions to Igor. We have about more than 70,000 visitors per day, and we want to know, do you faced with attempts to copy your game, and how do you protect your copyrights, and do you address in courts for any question? Thank you.
Okay, so I think the question was how do we protect the copyright of the game? It's very difficult. For all the great things that Apple does, one thing that they don't really get involved is the sort of the copyright protection. And so what we're trying to do is basically contact the developers directly and see if we can sort out the issue. And generally, developers are kids who don't know really much about copyright, and they once you contact them, they just take the app down or change the things that they've had problems with. Courts are expensive and just a waste of everyone's time. I would rather be working on new games, on more games than fighting these things in court. But there's also a thing in the U.S. law that says that you have to actively protect your trademark in order to maintain it. So if I say, you know what, I have a trademark on Doodle Jump, but I'm going to let everyone kind of do whatever, I'm not going to fight with anyone about it, you lose your trademark. So it's kind of like a catch-22 there. You have to protect it, to maintain it, even though you may think, I don't want to waste my time on doing that.
So Doodle God has no relationship to Doodle Jump?
God, no, none of the Doodle. Some of you may be familiar, we had a little bit of a fiasco of trying to do something about the proliferation of all Doodle this and Doodle that games. And we were trying to see if we can actually get some kind of protection on that, and the whole thing kind of went down the wrong way, and it was dubbed the Doodle Gate by Pocket Gamer in the UK. And it's just very annoying that you have so many people trying to basically take something that someone else has done and make a quick buck. I mean, right now I think Temple Run is sort of it's been on top of the chart, and you've had someone create a game called Temple Jump that went to like number 2 on the App Store, and then Apple took it. It took them a while to take it down, a couple of days actually. So it's a constant problem, I guess, that just you have to find a good balance between policing and protecting your copyright and not getting involved with all the little things that happen there.
Okay, make good games and don't care about course. So
it is true, it's the first thing and the most important thing. Just make a good game. If it's a good game, it will find its way to the people.
Okay then, thank you very much. I think it was pretty interesting. Thank you to the audience. Yeah, we have our time is over, so we just thank you.